What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy Amp Dog back with another episode of Politickin. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, showing your love, and make sure you tell a friend, tell a friend. Big Amp Dog said, what's the deal? And today, we got a crazy story coming out of Georgia. 18-year-old woman has been arrested, and for the reason why is kind of what grabbed my attention, because we always hear different stories of, whether it's men or women, but the child support system and how, there's some people feel like they're being frauded. Some people feel like it's just, it doesn't help, help the situation as far as parents being in their children's life. Some people feel like a parent that is receiving child support uses it as leverage when it comes down to the children and things like that. So I want to get into the story of, her name is Brya Hardy, 18-year-old woman from Georgia, who has been charged with theft by deception after authorities said she scammed her ex-boyfriend out of thousands of dollars by falsely claiming he was the father of a child. Now, that's not the kicker. The kicker comes in after the investigation shows that not only was he not the father of the child, but she wasn't even the mother of the child that she was using to collect over $7,000 in child support payments from her ex-boyfriend. So we're going to get into this news clip, and then we're going to give a reaction, of course. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, that hype button, and drop a comment too. Let's get into it.
Hey, good afternoon, Tom. It's not unusual for someone to bilk an ex out of child support payments. That's happened before. But this story has a different twist, and it's one that the Coweta County Sheriff's Office wants to get out there in case there are other victims or anyone who might have information about it. Let's roll some video for you and show you who we're talking about. It was not a good New Year's Eve for 18-year-old Brya Hardy. She was taken into custody here at the Sheriff's Office and charged with theft by deception. We're told her ex-boyfriend came up here in early December, told investigators that he believed that he was the victim of a scam perpetrated by Hardy, in which he had paid her over $7,000 in child support payments. She claimed to him that they had a child together, a little baby, and that he was responsible for helping her to raise this baby, and even sent him photographs and everything else. Turns out in the investigation that the child was not his. Turns out that the child wasn't hers either. Belonged to somebody else. Well, investigators here are asking anyone who has information on this case or had any dealings with her before to contact them. As we said, fraudulently requesting child support payments from an ex is not necessarily anything new, but using somebody else's child to do it, even sending the photographs. So the Coweta County investigators want to make sure that there's nobody else out there. So if you have any information, they're asking you to call the Coweta County Sheriff's Office and share that information with them. Theft by deception is the charge here. And again, she was taken into custody hours before midnight at the start of the new year.
Incredible, Doug, the lengths somebody will go to defraud somebody. How did these allegations surface in the first place? In other words, did the ex-boyfriend report her to police?
He must have suspected something, Tom, for him to come forward here to investigators in early December. Then they started at work on his allegations, learned that the child was not his. In fact, the child belonged to somebody else. There is a child. There is a baby. The photographs are real. Trouble is, it doesn't belong to her or him. She apparently used somebody else's baby to convince him that it was his and hers, and he had some responsibility to the child. Kudos for him, paying $7,000, helping her to raise this child or whatever through financial support, but apparently it wasn't warranted in this case.
So maybe I'm digging a little too deep here, but does she know the child that she alleged was hers, and is he going to get that money back?
Well, it's going to be up to the court, I think, as this case meanders through the legal system now, to see if he gets any restitution in the case. That's certainly something that'll probably be on the table from the prosecutor's office here. In terms of whether or not, she knows the child, that's we simply don't know that.
Yeah. Great investigative reporting there. Doug Evans, live.
Yeah, man. So there you have it. Only thing I could think of would be literally, like the guy said, kudos to the father, but this is where, as a parent that is the one that is being targeted for child support, this is when you got to do your due diligence and do some background checking. Go up to the courts, request documentation to prove that first you were legally served with the documents to even, say that, hey, this is your responsibility. I got a bunch of questions. I wonder, has he ever physically seen the child? When did she come back and tell him that they had a child? How old was the child? Because clearly he must be young. If she's a teen, I'm figuring he's probably around her age to where, yeah, you don't know what you don't know. But let this be a lesson to a lot of y'all, men and women. When it come down to these children and, the relationship doesn't work and child support is involved, do your due diligence to where, maybe he was getting to a point where he was mad about the fact that he can't, because once you pay child support or they put you on child support, that gives you every right to be able to be involved in that child's life. You hear stories about certain women that collect child support but still trying to keep the children from the parent and all that. All that kind of stuff happens, and it's normal, as you could hear from the news clip. It's not a new occurrence that we're shocked about, but it's the actual fact that this is not her child nor the guy's child that she was scamming, pretty much, because she's a scammer, that's for sure. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Did she pull the biggest finesse of 2026? Do we think we're gonna see somebody top it? Yeah, man, it's crazy. Y'all got to protect yourself, man. Make sure y'all, like I said, do y'all due diligence. Do not agree to make payments to somebody if you didn't see physical court documents stating that, yeah, this is a court order document that you have to pay. I don't know how long he was paying her, but $7,000 is fairly a lot of money, for anybody to have to pay, So kudos to him for actually going to the sheriff's office just to get some information, and it also led to them in the investigation leading them to finding out that, yeah, this woman, she was frauding you. Come to find out she's not even the mother of the child that she was using, so. And then it's more questions. Was the parent who allowed her to use the child, did they know that she was using the child? Did they allow her to use the child and get some type of kickback from the payments that she was receiving? Should they be charged if that is the case? Y'all let me know what y'all think. As always, protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your peace. I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Peace. What up, world? It's your boy Amp Dog with another episode of Politickin. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, showing your love, and make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and tell a friend. Big Amp Dog said, what's the deal?